Today is one of those days that a couple of wrenches have made an appearance in the plans. Oh, God. Oh, so the night shift last night was pretty busy. We had a couple calls that were kind of, what's the word I should use? Stretched our resources a bit and maybe put some of our training that we did recently into use. Not as extensively as like a very severe call or like that, but it was definitely a bit of an extenuating call, which kind of ate up a good portion of the shift. So everything went well, though. It was a pretty straightforward call, but still a busy shift. Did not get great sleep afterwards. Came home, kind of hung out with the kids because they were getting up right when I got home. Hung out with them for a bit, and then probably crashed for about 3 hours or so. Kind of woke up because our girls hockey team right now, they're still trying to get approval for parents to be on the roster for coaching staff. And I signed up last year, so I'm already kind of pre-approved, and I'm the only person right now that's been approved. So pretty much means they need me on most of the games to help out with the bench and the doors and all that stuff. But we adapted a bit, kind of gonna adjust my gym session today. It'll be probably in about an hour. So I'm just running around doing a few odds and ends here. Gonna get some water for my pre-workout. Gonna meet the kids for some lunch. And then head to the gym. Wait. Okay. Let me say that. I gotta figure out something. So yeah, a bit of a wrench in the day, but not the end of the world. We can make it work. The one thing I'm struggling with right now, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do, is I have my gym session, so my lower body workout with cardio. And then there's a parent coach meeting and another game this afternoon in about 2 hours. So I'm going to be kind of crunched for the meeting. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the meeting, but the game I might be kind of like committed to, because if they don't have enough coaching staff on the bench, it kind of makes it, I don't get why people stop on an on-ramp. Jeez. There you go. It just kind of makes it a headache for the coaching staff. You have to open the door plus organize the kids, and I'll see. So anyways, with the gym today, my plan is chilling out on the bike, do 30 minutes there, play some Suica, and then want to do hack squats today. Hack squats, probably a leg press, leg extensions and leg curls, and then calf raises. The one thing I've been wanting to figure out what I'm going to work into is forearms. I feel like I was doing them, 2 or 3 times a week with my old routine, and I've kind of forgot to add them to any routine now. So I'm thinking if I add them to probably like my pull day with my curls, and then also to my upper body day. That'll be 2 times a week. That should be more than enough, I think, to kind of stimulate some growth in that area. But still, main focus right now is fat loss, kind of reshaping the midsection. Hopefully, if I follow the trend that my body's been going on in this past about month and a bit now, I think we're heading in the right direction. But yeah, there was something I was talking about the other day and I wanted to kind of touch on it again. Oh, it was caloric deficits and gaining muscle and losing fat, kind of like that whole myth about like recomping. And for me, it just doesn't really make sense. Like if you think about how the body works in a very like systematic way, it's either going to say they have enough energy to build tissue and store energy, or there's, you know, a deficit of energy, so we got to use some of our reserves. And if we're using our reserves, we're not going to try and build additional tissues. It's just really how the hormones work in the body, right? So I think like the best strategy, or the only strategy I see with, you know, trying to build muscle and stay lean, is you have to go through these bulking and cutting cycles. So I don't really think, like, I'm not gonna, like, when I go into bulking, whenever that happens, if it happens, well, it's gonna happen at some point, but when it happens, it's gonna be probably a high protein and higher carb. I'm gonna probably keep my fats to a moderate level. I realize you have to have some fats in your diet in order to you know, produce hormones, testosterone, growth hormone, sleep hormones, all those things that are important for functioning. But I'm really hoping that, you know, with the weight gain that I do during a bulking season or a bulking session, that I'm able to limit the amount of fat I put on and maximize the amount of muscle I put on. And I think that's, you know, obviously the target or the strategy that anyone puts on with a bulking cycle. And then, you know, conversely with a cutting cycle, it's limit the amount of muscle you lose while maximizing the amount of fat that you're losing. So the one thing I'm going to have to work on is figuring out what my caloric surplus should be, so that my weight gain isn't a I want the weight gain to be like a productive weight gain. I don't want to frivolously, you know, why is that word so hard to say? Anyways, if I'm eating the extra carbs, I want to make sure, not the extra carbs, the extra calories, I want to make sure that they're going to be put to good use for, you know, increased energy at the gym, increased pump, and putting on muscle, not having it all stored away as fat. So that is something we're gonna have to figure out in a couple months' time. Anyways, I'm just gonna go grab a quick bite to eat with the kiddos. So I'll probably cut this and I'll catch back up with you when we're on our way to the gym. All right, a little change in programming last minute. So got the workout done. little over 30 minutes of cardio because I got kind of caught up in a match of Suica. And then legs was pretty much limited to some compound movements. So we did got the hack squat in, which I wanted to do, and then went with leg presses. Didn't get to do any isolated like hamstring or quads, which not the end of the world because I was able to get some extra sets of the compound stuff in. Ideally, in the perfect world, I would have, had some time to get some extensions and curls in, but I had to make it to the hockey game. So kind of goes back to the conversation I had before about, picking, where you're going to sacrifice time from to make up time for other things. And in this situation today, it was definitely allocated to family time, which, sometimes you just got to do it. And that's how it normally is for me. Like if there's something that's tearing or like, if I have a conflict between the two, unfortunately, sometimes the gym session has to take a back burner or I find some kind of alternative. So whether it be, strictly cardio, do a walk, do the bike at home, something like that, right? When it comes to, on a bulking season kind of thing, it becomes a little bit more scary if you're missing, your workouts and stuff, because all those calories then don't get used for muscle tissue development and they get stored away, right? So one thing I'll have to learn to watch when I'm into calorie surplus is that if something happens and there's a day where I'm not going to be actually doing any weightlifting, I'll have to make sure I probably try to limit my caloric intake for that day. Not that one day of calories is going to really change where that energy goes, but I think it's just a good habit to develop. Anyways, just pulling the work here, so I don't have much else to talk about. I don't think, anyways. Tonight is the night that my school application gets sent out, so I got some things to chip away at with that. And other than that, it's hopefully going to be a little bit more manageable of a day at work. So I don't know if you can really even see me. I feel like the sun is not helping this camera. It's having a hard time toning this all down enough. Yeah, so if you made it this far through the video, thank you for sticking it out and struggling through this process, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.